7 with
half, and he's starting at the left corner, which he should get a lot of credit for that. Coming in a new system and going out there and starting, that takes an awful lot, particularly at the cornerback position.
Now there you take a look at Burt Jones with Greg Landry. There's the Gaylord Perry of pro football. He got on me after the first game when I called him that.
Has tremendous knowledge of the football game, though.
Yeah, that tells you something about how long he's been around the game. Gene, you played with Greg Landry in Detroit.
That's right. Since he came into the league as a rookie, he's just been an outstanding football player, and more importantly, a great asset to the game of football as a person.
Now back deep to receive. There's Zachary Dixon along with Kevin Williams. Ralph Panershka is set to kick it away. It's a short one, and it'll be Dixon at the 9. Now checked at it was Kim Anderson, who takes it out to the 20-yard line. Don Coryell looks on, likes what he sees. Let's reset the lineups for you as Burt Jones goes on. Offensively for the Baltimore Colts as they start the second half, it'll be Jones. His running backs, Curtis Dickey, Randy McMillan. Wide receivers, Carr, Butler. The tight end is Reese McCall. The offensive line, there you see it, Griffin, Pratt, Donaldson, Huff, and Jeff Hart. To the bottom of your screen is Roger Carr. Ray Butler is in the slot. The give, second man, it is Dickey, and he will not fool John Woodcock. He gains about 3 yards on the play, maybe 4. Take a look at this San Diego Charger defense. There's the man we just spoke of, John Woodcock. He's joined by Johnson, Kelcher, and Jones. Linebackers, Lowe, Bob Horn, and Lyndon King. And the backs, Williams, Ellis, Shaw, and Buchanan. They have played very, very well today. Chargers now employ the nickel backfield. On 2nd and 9, Jones will put it up. Dickey, and he cannot hold it. The ball was right there.
If Dickey had held on to that football, he may have run it all the way into the end zone. As you can see, the disgust on the face of head coach Mike McCormick. Burt Jones drops back, and he gets that ball right into Dickey's hands. Ray Preston challenges Dickey right on the line of scrimmage. Dickey gets by him, and you can see that he's got 2 steps on him. Just does not watch the football. He makes that error. He does not watch the football all the way into his hands.
Now, we talked earlier about the heat that head coach Mike McCormick has taken, but there's no coach in the world that can teach you to hang on to a football that you should have caught anyway. 3rd down. It is McCauley out of the backfield, and he'll be close to a first down. No, they're saying it bounced, and McCauley's still running.
Well, that call is going to create lots of controversy as they gather around to talk about it. Let's take a look at the replay. Jones gets the ball to McCauley, who sort of dives. There you can see he's diving to catch the football, and he's got it. He's got possession of it. Now he hits the ground.
He's got the ball.
It's shielded a little bit from our view, but the one official, I guess, who had a clear shot at it, decided that the football popped away just before he hit the ground.
So it is 4th and 9 for Baltimore, and Mike Garrett will kick it away. James Brooks back deep to receive for San Diego. And it's a wobbly end-over-end kick. It's a short one. Brooks will have a return. But not for very long. Before number 66, Chris Foote brings him down. So San Diego will have the football for the first time here in the second half, and we'll be back in just a moment. 34-0 in the 4th quarter. Anderson already thrown 2 touchdown passes in that one. Capoletti, right side, dives ahead for about 5 yards on the play. Don't forget, immediately following our game, it's the Montreal Expos and the Los Angeles Dodgers in the 5th and deciding game. The winner of this one will go against the New York Yankees Tuesday in the World Series. Oh, look at this. A page from the New Orleans Saints playbook. Bring pro football back to Baltimore. 2nd and 6. Joyner in motion. Quick pass. Chandler, and he cannot hold on. Boy, it looks like some of the San Diego wide receivers are watching too many Baltimore Colt movies. Take a look at the San Diego Backfield, Fouts, Cavaletti, and Muncie. The receivers, Joyner, Chandler, and Kellen Winslow. And there's a look at that offensive line that has done a stellar job for Dan Fouts today. Shields, Wilkerson, Masick, White, and Washington. 3rd and 6.
I was going to say, how can you forget number 70, Russ Washington?
You can't forget him even if you tried. Swing past Muncie. And Bruce Laird will knock him down and take him out of bounds. 3 yards shy of the first down. So George Roberts will come on to kick it away for San Diego. It's only the second time the Chargers have had to punt on the afternoon.
So, you know, Muncie, when he is running to his left, he has a little disadvantage because he's got that cast on his hand, and he doesn't want to take a blow on that, you know, if he can avoid it. So in certain situations, he's not going to be able to run with the same authority as he can in others.
That's a good point, because he has to carry the ball in his left hand. That's right. So on 4th and 4, Roberts will kick it away. A good rush, and he got a booming punt. Oh, look at this bounce. Roberts out of bounds at the 5-yard line. So the Baltimore Colts, I'll tell you, when the car is running bad, it's running real, real bad. A 42-yard punt. Baltimore has the football, and we'll be back. That home run in the 8th. The Dodgers added 4 more in the 9th to bury the Expos. Here it is 13:08 to play in the 3rd quarter. Randy McMillan will try the left side, and Willie Buchanan throws him down.
Well, the Colts are going to get back in this football game. They certainly have to put the football in the air. The only problem is right now they're backed up against their own end zone. And Burt Jones certainly does not want to drop back and get caught for a safety.
Now we've got our first final in. Look at this one. The Jets have defeated the Buffalo Bills 33-14. Boy, that is a surprise, surprise, surprise. And there you look at Mike McCormick. Oh, he's got to be absolutely livid what he's seeing here today. Dickey in motion, takes a few steps. Jones time, throws to McMillan, and it's almost intercepted. Ray Preston was right there, and would have given the Chargers tremendous field position.
But Burt Jones wanted to go to number 27, Curtis Dickey. As we take a look at the replay, Jones is looking at Dickey all the way, but Dickey is covered very well by number 51, Woodrow Lowe. He comes back and tries to get the ball to McMillan, and he overthrows it.
There you take a look at Don Coryell. Very rarely will you ever see a smile on that man's face. It comes from the Tom Landry School of Game Day Coaching.
He looks like he's behind by 20.
He always does, even on Wednesdays. 3rd and a bunch. Jones has no choice. Got to put it up. And he's going to be sacked. About the 1-foot line. He is rolled down. And the man there is Keith Ferguson, the rookie out of Ohio State. And that brings the Boo Birds out here at Memorial Stadium.
Well, as we take a look as Burt Jones goes to the sidelines, he gets lots of criticism, but you can see when he drops back, you have to give some credit to the Chargers coverage. But look at that. He's getting pressure from every place, and he's finally caught by number 76, Keith Ferguson. But Jones doesn't have the time to throw the football, and no quarterback can drop back there and look good if his offensive line is not giving him time to throw the football.
That's the 3rd sack for San Diego. Mike Garrett is set to kick it away, and he'll only have about 10 yards to do it. And he gets a good one. It's a boomer. James Brooks backs up at his own 48-yard line, and he'll take it upfield. A great return by James Brooks as Hank Bauer just leveled somebody, and it was Mike Garrett he took out of the play. Garrett with a 50-yard kick, a 19-yard return for James Brooks, averaging 16 yards. He really brings the ball back for San Diego.
Number 9, Mike Garrett, is coming off the field, but he sure will feel that one for a long time because he caught the shoulder pads and helmet right in the stomach and got knocked back about 5 yards.
I'll tell you, you don't want to get hit by the howitzer. Hank Bauer, number 37, Chargers excellent field position. The ball at the 31-yard line. Play action. Fouts will put it up. Kellen Winslow. And he's got it out of bounds at the Baltimore 3-yard line.
Phil, Winslow was in a man-to-man situation with the strong safety Bruce Laird, and Laird is a good strong safety, but it takes the best cornerback to even try to come close to covering Winslow. The Colts, I was watching their linebackers. They started off, they wanted to blitz, and they came back out. It appears as though their defense is totally confused.
It's like Bruce Laird said in the pregame, Gene. It seems like on every single play, somebody is breaking down on the defensive secondary squad. Malone setback now. The two setbacks, John Cappelletti and Chuck Muncie. 3 tight ends for San Diego. It is Muncie, left side. Touchdown, San Diego. Tremendous work by the offensive line of the Chargers, Gene.
But you hit it right on the head. Number 63, Doug Wilkerson, using that great speed he has. He got out in front of Muncie. If we take a look at this replay, you'll see number 63. There he is. A good block by 25, John Cappelletti. Watch this block. Look at that. Muncie just slides on through. And there's Glasgow trying to get up in there. Ed Smith coming up trying to make the tackle. But you can see Chuck Muncie gives a signal to the fans. Touchdown.
Now watch where this ball is spotted, right at the front side of the pitcher's mound. It is down, and Rolfe gets a good connection there. So San Diego has gotten on the board here in the third quarter with 11:25 to play. The Chargers 30, the Colts 7. Zachary Dixon at the goal line, and he's going to take it out. And listen to the fans here.
They've continued to watch their team make mistake after mistake. And you can see on the replay, he's just not sure whether he should take the football out or not, because the official may rule that he stepped out and that the ball's going to be dead on about the 6-inch line. So he really did the only thing he could do. In that case, you got to run it out, because he caught that football on about the 6-inch line. And you can see he's trying to explain to the coach what happened.
So it is 1st and 10 now for the Baltimore Colts. Curtis Dickey out near the 20-yard line. Mike Williams and Pete Shaw bring him down. The rule on that play is, though, even though he fielded it out about the 6-inch line, his momentum carried him back. Watch it. It'll carry him into the end zone. Touchback. It would have been a 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. However, Zachary Dixon, Gene, was just not sure of the rule.
And maybe he didn't get his call. I think he was listening for a call from number 26, Kim Anderson, who evidently didn't tell him to come out or stay in.
Absolutely. McMillan. And he stumbles on that dirt in the infield. He runs it out for a 1st down. Let's take a look at a couple of other scores. Another final end. Cincinnati has buried the Pittsburgh Steelers 34-7. That now a final. And at Foxborough, the Patriots have beat the Houston Oilers 38-10. It appears as if the Patriots might be oiling the gears up there at Foxborough. Dickey and McMillan, the running backs. Play action. Jones will put it in the air. Got a man. Roger Carr.
Reception by Roger Carr.
A 1st down for the Colts now at the San Diego 40-yard line. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
KCST-TV, San Diego.
There you see Roger Carr going out of the ball game. A gimpy left ankle. 30-7. San Diego leads this one. 1st and 10. Baltimore. McMillan, right side. Not much running room. Possibly a yard.
Phil, I think as we take a look at Roger Carr on the sideline, they're trying to get him so that he can get back in the ball game. He appears to be in pain, and I think what may have happened is that one of the San Diego guys may have stepped on his ankle. But in any event, Phil, I think what the Colts are trying to do is they're trying to get something established. They're not worried about trying to catch up right now as much as they are trying to get a touchdown so they can regain some confidence in their offense.
It is 2nd down, 8 yards to go. Ray Butler split to the top of your screen. Give Dickey. And again, the San Diego Chargers' lateral pursuit has been excellent today.
Carry initial tackle Leroy Jones.
Woodcock and Leroy Jones combine on the stop.
Well, they continue to do a good job, and don't forget number 61, Jimmy Webb, is filling in the middle for Louis Kelcher. And I played with Jimmy Webb in San Francisco. He did an outstanding job there for several years. Has lots of height, good size, and has good agility.
3rd and 6.
It is 3rd and 6 for Baltimore. They have only converted about 32% of their third down situations coming into today's game, so they are not particularly effective on third down situations. Jones, he's got a man, and he's got it. He's out of bounds. It is Randy Burke, the man who backs up Ray Butler, and he's brought down by Wyatt Henderson. A big first down for Baltimore.
Well, Burt Jones throws the football on the move, but as you can see on this replay, if Burke throws that ball a little lower and Burke doesn't have to jump for it, he may have a touchdown here. But in any event, he goes up and he catches that football at its highest point and comes down with the reception.
Randy Burke, the fourth-year man out of Kentucky. 1st and 10, Baltimore. Wide left is Roger Carr. Ray Butler is to the top of your screen. It is McMillan, and he hammers across the left side, breaks a tackle, and is inside the San Diego 10.
The carry, tackled by
Ray Preston and Keith Ferguson combined to bring him down. As you look at the rookie out of Pittsburgh, San Francisco has beaten the Green Bay Packers 13-3, and that has to make one wide receiver sitting beside me, number 18, Gene Washington, a very happy man.
Well, they continue to share the lead in first place, something that no one thought San Francisco would be at this point. No one thought they'd be tied for first place.
2nd and 5. The ball just inside the 10. Curtis Dickey. Running room, right side. He gets by Allen Ellis. He cannot get by Pete Shaw.
You just got an example of the tremendous speed that number 27, Curtis Dickey, has. He was trying to run the football off tackle to the right side. As we take a look on this replay, he's going to try to go off tackle, but there's nothing there. And he uses that outstanding speed to bounce outside. Phil, these Colts are a much more fired-up team now on offense.
Now Curtis Dickey coming into this game, 4th in the AFC in rushing. He is a spectacular running back, as is Randy McMillan. And remember those guys' names. McMillan tries the left side. This time he'll get nothing. Pete Shaw again comes up from his free safety spot. And this is absolutely a sensational day for these Charger defensive secondary folks. Pete Shaw, this is the first game he has played free safety.
Well, he's always been a hitter, and you'll see him come up in the middle as he puts the stop on number 32, McMillan. But look at that job that number 90, John Woodcock, did. He just stood up the blocker, closed it down. This is a very key situation for the Colts. If they don't score at this point, they can just throw it in almost, because they will almost lose all confidence in their offense if they don't get the ball in the end zone here.
2nd and goal at the 5. Jones will put it in the air. Got a man, and it is knocked away. Mike Williams punched it away just at the last minute. It looked like he was aiming for Roger Carr.
He was trying to get the ball to Roger Carr, who was wide open alone in the back of the end zone. But what happened was that Ray Butler was coming across, and I think he thought the football was being thrown to him. Look, you can see Carr right there wide open. No one around him.
Now Burt Jones is now 12 for 23, 175 yards. Chargers last week gave up 444 yards. So that tells you something about the adjustment San Diego made, and Burt Jones does not like what he sees on a 3rd and goal situation. The Colts have converted only 2 of 6 today, and they need this one very, very badly, as you mentioned, Gene, if they want to stay on this ball game. 5:45 to play in the 3rd period. San Diego leads Baltimore 30-7. Look, as the lights are on here at Memorial Stadium, heavily overcast afternoon here in Baltimore. It has warmed up a bit, and the rain has continued to hold off. Earlier today, we heard there was a chance of thunder showers this afternoon. Well, you take a look at the third down conversion success this season. As I mentioned, the Colts 32%. They've allowed their opponents 51%. Third and goal, Baltimore. Very, very important they get something on the board here, Gene.
You're exactly right. Just for the psychology of the entire football team, not only on offense but on defense. Those guys are sitting over there, and they want their offensive club to get some points on the board.
McCauley in motion. He's the favorite receiver on third down. It is Butler, and it is knocked away. Pete Shaw, the third consecutive play Pete Shaw has been involved in, knocks it away from Mr. Butler. Well, now the Colts are faced with a real decision. Do you go for 3 or do you go for the 6?
Phil, I think they have to go for the touchdown at this point. I don't think kicking the field goal is going to mean very much because everyone knows you can come out and kick a field goal from this point. But again, psychologically, they need a score. If they get a score here, their defense may come out and play inspired football like they did at the first part of the football game, and they have to have that from their defense.
Brian DeRue tried to check into the game. He said something to Burt Jones and came back out. 3 wide receivers, Butler, Burke, and Carr. 4th and goal. Pressure. Touchdown.
Curtis Dickey on the reception for a Colts touchdown.
Bill, if we take a look at this replay, you'll notice the difference this time is that Burt Jones' offensive line gives him time to throw the football. He's got plenty of time. Now he runs up, which creates a little more time, and he finds number 27, Curtis Dickey, who, by the way, is the leading receiver on this Colts ball club.
Well, he certainly is. 26 catches for 307 yards coming into this game. And there you see Mike Wood add 1 more. So the Colts are on the board here with 5:35 to play in the third period. It is San Diego 30, Baltimore 14. And look at Mike McCormick. Burt Jones has to be a happy man, at least with that particular scoring strike. Last week, Curtis Dickey, Gene, caught 11 passes against Cincinnati. So they like him. They like to throw to him. He's got sure hands. He has excellent speed for a running back. And that's about all you can ask for. He is going to be a sensational running back here.
Well, the key, Phil, is the speed that you mentioned before. And he is usually going to be covered by a linebacker. And there's no way that a linebacker can cover a guy who runs a 4.240. It's almost unheard of. 4.240. It's incredible speed.
Now, Baltimore coming into today's game has averaged better than 17.5 points a game. The problem has been, as we have said all day long, on the defensive side of the field, where they have given up 31 points an outing, and that is the worst in the National Football League. San Diego already has 30 today, and we still have 20 minutes and 35 seconds of football left. As Mike Garrett is set to kick it away for the Baltimore Colts. Check that, it is Mike Wood. James Brooks is back deep to receive for San Diego. And Brooks will take it at the 11. Brooks with a good return outside the 25-yard line. He was third in the AFC coming in today on kickoff returns, averaging 26 yards every time he brings the ball out. By the way, we want to tell you fans in San Diego who are awaiting the Montreal-Los Angeles Dodger baseball game, there is a rain delay there, so you are not missing a thing. Sit back and enjoy this one for a while. 5:25 to play in the third quarter. Lone set back is James Brooks. Play action. Fouts will put it up to Mr. Brooks. And he picks up about 6 yards on the play before Joe Fetterspiel hammers him down. Fetterspiel just coming into Baltimore from New Orleans in a trade about a week ago.
Well, that was a good call on the part of the Chargers. Fouts caught Baltimore in their zone defense. He dropped back. He allowed them plenty of time to get way back in their drops, and he got that little screen out to number 21, James Brooks.
Second down, 4 yards to go. As you take a good look at Dan Fouts, Chuck Muncie, the lone running back. Dan to Eric Seaver. He's got enough for the first down, and he dives ahead for a few more out across the 40-yard line.
Fouts continues to get lots of time from that great offensive line. And as I mentioned before, he's got receivers all over the place as he comes to the right side to tight end number 85, Eric Sievers, who, by the way, was the most valuable player at Maryland right here at home.
Well, as we mentioned in the first half, if the alignment looks a little bit strange for the Baltimore Colts, they are running a 3-4 defense now. They had not done that previous to today. 3 down linemen, Thompson, Green, and Ozdowski. Fouts, 21 of 34, 2 touchdowns. First and 10, San Diego. Fouts is going for it. Ronnie Smith, and he will not get to it. Nesby Glasgow on the coverage. Gene Eureka. They are tearing up the town in Oakland. The Raiders are on the scoreboard for the first time in 12 quarters today. It is 3-0. The Raiders over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Chris Barr with a 51-yard field goal.
Well, you have to start someplace. You might as well start with a field goal. They could have started with a safety. Could have
started with a safety. Now, we did that game last week, Kansas City and Oakland, and I'll tell you, the Raiders have certainly been having their problems. We are not certain whether Mark Wilson has started today's game or Jim Plunkett. We will try and find that out for you. 2nd and 10. Charlie Joyner in motion to the top of your screen. The give is to Chuck Muncie. He'll try the right side. A flag goes down. It is certain to be holding, and it might be on Eric Seaver, the tight end.
When the flag is thrown in that area, it's usually holding.
Look at Seaver looking around. Did they catch me? Did they catch me? Couple of other scores around the league. Cleveland has come back to take a lead over New Orleans on a Mike Pruitt 1-yard touchdown run. 4:48 to play in that one. New Orleans has led that entire game. Minnesota continues to lead Philadelphia, but the Eagles are coming back. 2 touchdown passes.
Face mask, number 54, defense, automatic first down.
Oh, let's take a look at the replay and see what happens. They got Sanders Shiver. He's guilty of a face mask. Oh, right at the bottom of the screen, you can see his hand on Dylan Winslow's face mask. Oh, whoa! Oh, that should be a personal foul. That's dangerous.
And I'll tell you,
it's very dangerous.
It is an extremely dangerous. Fouts on first down to Muncie. Waits for his blockers to set it up. And Ozdowski tried to come in, and I look at him waving his right hand. He is hurting over there. I think he, too, got Muncie's face mask when he reached out to try and grab him. So it is 2nd down. Pickup of about 5 yards on the play. Clock continues to run here in the 3rd period. 3 minutes and 15 seconds to play here. San Diego leads Baltimore 30-14 as you watch the Chargers break the huddle. Wide receivers to the top side. Wes Chandler. Kellen Winslow, the tight end, comes wide right. Muncie may get back to the line of scrimmage before big Bubba Green comes in and brings him down. Bubba's a rookie out of NC State. You know, Gene, earlier this week, Bubba was quoted as saying he's very, very bitter now about losing. He does not like to be a part of a losing ball club. He wants to turn things around in the worst way.
Well, when you get in a situation like this where the team is losing a lot, you have to get some leadership from someplace. And on this team, they have some experienced veteran ball players. They're taking Chuck Muncie off. That's a shame.
Yeah, we'll take a listen and see what it could possibly be, and we'll have word as to just what it is when we return in just a moment. From Baltimore, Maryland, as the San Diego medical staff works over Chuck Muncie on the far sideline, we will get a report as soon as it is available. It is 3rd and 5 as the crowd here in Baltimore tries to cheer on their defensive unit. And Fouts will try and put it in the air. Batted down. Donnell Thompson bats it down, and San Diego will have to kick it away.
Good part on the play of the young guy, number 99, Donnell Thompson. And Phil, you mentioned before, number 91, Bubba Green, was saying he didn't like losing. And I was about to say that you have to get the leadership from someplace. And if you're not going to get it from the veteran players, then those young guys have to come forward and say, look, we've lost enough. Let's turn things around. We have to do what's necessary to win.
Quite frankly, we've done 3 Baltimore games this year, and I have yet to see a team leader emerge on this Baltimore Colt club. George Rogers, and the ball is snapped badly, and he still gets it away. tremendous job by George Rogers under extreme pressure back there.
You're exactly right. When that football hit the ground, he was looking for someone to come in and knock him down, and he eluded one guy. Then he was able to get the football away. Terrific job on the part of George Roberts.
A 44-yard kick. Say, don't forget, we followed boxer Johnny Bumpus through his days as an amateur in the National Golden Gloves and the Olympic trials. Now as a young pro, he gets a title shot. He'll fight Willie Rodriguez for the USBA junior welterweight crown, and you'll see it all on NBC Sports World on October 31st. First and 10, Baltimore, as Burt will put it in the air, and he's got a man. It is Ray Butler, and he's out across the 30-yard line. A first down for Baltimore.
Ray Butler going down against the zone defense that San Diego was using. He found a little hole, and he pulled himself up, got the reception.
Gene, you're going to love this. Another score out of Oakland. You said they could possibly get a safety and make it 2-0. They've done just that. Todd Christensen, a blocked punt. It is now 5-0 Oakland. Dickey is split wide left like a wide receiver, but the ball is given to Randy McMillan, and he will go nowhere. It is Jim Webb in on the stop. Gain of possibly a yard on the play. Look at this one. St. Louis being annihilated by Atlanta in the fourth quarter, 41-20. Kansas City leads Denver 7-0 in the first quarter. And Oakland, as we just told you, leads Tampa Bay 5-0. I'll tell you, if Kansas City beats the Denver Broncos, that sends the American Conference West up for grabs, with San Diego, Kansas City, and Denver all tied for the lead. Dickey in motion. On 2nd and 9, Burt Jones for Dickey. Dickey had it, and Ray Preston pushed it out of his hands, and we've got a flag down. Burt Jones is really upset.
I think it's going to be holding. There it is. There's the indication. Holding against Baltimore. So we take a look at the tail end of this replay. Dickey has his man beat, but the ball isn't thrown far enough. And 52, Ray Preston wisely sticks his hand up and gets it in there just in time to knock it away.
Well, if that appeared to be face guarding or screening, it is not. There has been a change this year. Let's listen.
Holding, number 68, offense, 2nd down.
That's Jeff Hart.
This is a very, very interesting rule change this year, Gene, on blocking or screening. It is not blocking or screening in 1981 now unless the defensive back waves his hand. If he simply puts it up in front of the receiver, it is not blocking. He has to wave those hands. 2nd and 19 for Baltimore. McMillan. Picked up of about 5 yards on the play. It'll be 3rd and about 14 as the clock continues to wind down. 29 seconds to play here in the 3rd period.
Phil, the early indication is that Chuck Muncie has a sprained knee, but he may be back in the ball game.
Another final for you. Minnesota has hung on to defeat the Philadelphia Eagles 35-23. There are no more undefeated teams in the National Football League. 3rd down, 13 yards to go. Burt Jones needs the first down. And it is almost picked off. Woody Lowe was there, and if he would have picked it off, it would have been his 2nd interception of the day. As the 3rd quarter comes to an end, the score, San Diego 30, Baltimore 14. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station. On the West Coast again, the Montreal-Los Angeles Dodger game, a rain delay in Montreal, so you are missing nothing. When we are done here, we will switch to that game, so stay right where you are. As Mike Garrett prepares to kick it away for Baltimore, an end-over-end kick. James Brooks will have a return. If it bounces towards him, it does not. And James Brooks has the ball. A good decoy is not James Brooks. One of the Chargers picked it up. We'll get a number for you. And we're blocked out from up here also. Somebody picked it up. I thought they whistled it dead, Gene, out on the 40-yard line when two of the Colts jumped up and batted it.
Well, that's what I thought, too. There's a flag down on the play. The officials are huddled there trying to decide what the outcome's going to be.
Now they'll discuss it. And now we'll see the indication.
You cannot bat the ball towards your own goal line. That is the rule.
I believe, if memory serves me correctly, the Chargers have the option of taking the ball where it is, or they kick it again. Now, the storm that we were expecting here in Baltimore has not materialized, but the thunder is here in the form of the San Diego Chargers. Now look at Mike McCormick. He is upset. He doesn't know what's going on either. Now Fouts is talking with one of the officials. I don't think anybody knows what's going on.
Well, they're talking to Dan Fouts, and I think they're trying to.
Against the kicking team, penalties decline, first down.
They were explaining the options that were open to the Chargers.
We'll take a look at it again. This happened last week against the San Diego Chargers on an onside kick.
As you can see, the two Colts go up and bat the ball. They're trying to keep the ball from going back in their direction, so they just bat it forward.
So it is first down for San Diego at their own 40-yard line. Frank Duncan was the Charger who picked that ball up and ran it out of bounds. 14:45 to play in this ball game. Muncie is back in the ball game with a sprained knee at all, and he runs it straight up the right side. Pickup of 3 yards on the play before Ed Smith closes it down. Another final for you today. Atlanta has blown out the St. Louis Cardinals 41-20. Listen to this. Steve Bartkowski, 4 touchdown passes, 2 to Alfred Jenkins, 1 to William Andrews. Make that 2 to William Andrews. Oakland now stuffing it out over Tampa. They have scored a touchdown. Touchdown Raiders.
First one in a long time.
2nd and 6. Fouts over the middle. Kellen Winslow cannot hold on. Ball thrown behind Kellen.
We take a look at this from the end zone. Dan Fouts doesn't throw many bad passes, but he gets this one a little behind his tight end Winslow, as you can see on that excellent shot from the end zone. And when that happens to you as a receiver and you're going across that middle, once that ball is past you, now you start looking for those defenders because you can get one in the chops.
Now Fouts 22 of 37 for 253 yards. Wes Chandler wide left. Kellen and Charlie Joyner in the slot. Look at this formation. Joyner. And he is brought down by Derek Hatchett, but not before he moves into Baltimore territory and a San Diego first down.
I have never seen a wide receiver go in as many directions as Charlie Joyner did on that play. He went to the outside, he came back, went to the inside first, came back outside, reversed his field, and went back to the inside. It's incredible.
There's the score. Cleveland over New Orleans. That's a final now, 20-17. That's one of those plays, Gene, that you draw on the
That's right.
Sand and sandlot football.
You go to the blue car, turn left, and I'll hit you as you get on the 5th Street bus.
1st and 10. Ball at the 45. Fouts for Joyner. What a catch, and he drops the football. A flag goes down. They are ruling it an incompleted forward pass.
Well, the fans don't agree, but I think it's an excellent call because Joyner went up and got the football, but he never had complete control. Well, the early indication is that it's illegal procedure against the Chargers. We take a look at this replay. Fouts gets an excellent pass in there, throws it right in front of the man. He has the football, but he doesn't have control. You can see the football comes right down his waist and goes right down below.
6 men on the line against the offense. First down.
Well, they need one more guy on the line. Got to have 7 up there, guys. It is 1st and 15 now for San Diego. The ball moves out to the midfield stripe as Charlie Joyner comes wide left, Wes Chandler wide right. the running backs, Muncy and John Cappelletti. 13 minutes, 14 seconds to play. Muncy tries the right side. And he picks up about 3 yards before Bruce Laird brings him down, the 10th-year man out of American International University.
Laird really shot up in there and made a great tackle. That's something that the Colts have not done very well. Head coach Mike McCormick has really chastised his players for not tackling well.
Al McCormick said before this ball game, in fact, it was almost a direct quote. He says, "I hope this team's embarrassed and tired of all the criticism and the losing and willing to fight. They need some fight." 2nd and 12. Fouts steps up into the pocket. Got Joyner. He's got the football and the first down at the Baltimore 31-yard line. Joe Fetterspiel finally moves back to make the stop. Great piece of work by Charlie Joyner.
Not only by Charlie Joyner, but by Dan Fouts. He has an uncanny ability to know where all of his receivers are. He just seems to know where everybody is on the field at all times. I thought he was going to throw the ball on a little pitch out to Chuck Muncy, but he goes downfield to number 18, Charlie Joyner, who just continues to dumbfound people. I think he's about 33 years old, and he runs around out there like he's about 18.
Just turned 34 4 days ago. Happy birthday to Charlie Joyner. Wes Chandler in motion. Pitch out near side. It is Muncy. What a run by Chuck Muncy. He broke right through Ed Smith. Kim Anderson finally jumped on him. Not before he reaches the Baltimore 15-yard line. And look at this guy motor.
And you got a good look at that cast that he has on his left hand. A guy as big as Chuck Muncy is usually doesn't have that kind of acceleration. But once he saw the opening, as we can see from this replay, the guards are pulling out. There's also the tackle, Billy Shields, number 66. Once Muncy sees that open, he just shoots through there, just like a shot out of a cannon. And it's really unusual for a guy of his size to have that kind of acceleration.
John Cappelletti with an outstanding block, too, on Bruce Laird there to spring Muncy. 1st and 10, San Diego. Little counter to Cappelletti. Still on his feet near the 12-yard line. He's finally brought down. It is getting dark here in Baltimore. Kim Anderson brings him down.
Number 25, John Cappelletti, running through the middle. Looks like he did at Penn State when he just goes one way, goes the other way. Shows tremendous agility. Hits up in there really tough.
Take a look at the heavy overcast here at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, where we have 10 minutes, 35 seconds to play. San Diego leads this one 30-14 and wanting some more. Fouts over the middle. Kellen Winslow. Watch this block by Seaver. And he will not get in. Winslow is down, and his helmet comes off. What a block by Eric Seaver, the other tight end.
Well, San Diego continues to confuse the opposition as they have their running back, Chuck Muncy. He goes up through the middle. He clears out the linebackers. Winslow waits for them to drop back. He comes underneath, and look at this block he gets from number 85, Eric Severs. Good block with Sanders Shivers. He fights it off, and he comes up and he saves the touchdown.
It is 1st and goal, San Diego. 3 tight ends check in. All of the wide receivers sit down. Muncy and Cappelletti, the running backs. Cappelletti. Do you believe it? Cappelletti tried the left side. They slammed the door. He just backed up and strolled around the right end.
That's exactly right. He just strolled around the right end because there was absolutely no one there. As you'll see on this replay, he hits up actually to the left side. The Colts shut it down, and he just looks to the outside. There's nobody there, and he just coasts in for the touchdown.
So San Diego makes it a 36-14 game, and Rolf Bonerschke will come on and try and make it one more. Now, this is a game the Baltimore Colts really wanted to win today. It hits the upright and comes back out. It is no good. That is Rolf's first miss in 1981. However, right now it doesn't seem to matter because San Diego still has a 36-14 lead, and we'll be back. Washington, we want to remind you once more, it is still raining at Olympic Stadium in Montreal, where the Expos are trying to take on the Los Angeles Dodgers. That game is being held up. We will bring that game to you as soon as we are done here. Zachary Dixon at the 3. Flag goes down. And he is outside the 20-yard line. A flag goes down. I mean, the ball pops loose. And it is out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Kevin Williams, number 21, returned the ball, not Zachary Dixon.
I think it's going to be offsides against the Chargers. At least it's thrown back up in that area.
It is offsides. I got to believe Baltimore will take the football where it is at the 37-yard line.
Number 84 on the kicking team. Penalties declined. First down.
Now Ronnie Smith whistled for offsides. Now the Colts will take it right there, and why not? Probably the best field position they've had all day. 10 minutes, 6 seconds to play in this one. Roger Carr comes wide right, Ray Butler wide left. The running backs, Curtis Dickey and Randy McMillan. To Dickey, and it hits him right in the shoulder pad. But the ball was thrown behind him. It was certainly a catchable pass. He had to go back for it.
Well, you're right. He did have to reach back, but oftentimes when you reach back for a football that's thrown as hard as Burt Jones throws it, it's difficult to catch. If Burt had taken a little off that football, then Dickey may have been able to hold on to it.
Burt Jones, 15 of 29 for 197 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The Chargers with 5 defensive back. And Jones is under pressure and goes down. Leroy Jones was there. And the rookie out of Ohio State, Keith Ferguson, was there.
Boy, I'm telling you, they were really there. It looks as though they just shot through there and no one touched them. There you can see number 68, Leroy Jones. He beats his man. Jeff Hart is trying to block him, and number 62, Ken Huff, is trying to help out. To no avail as they get through. Throw Burt Jones for a loss.
Now there you saw that graphic. It is the 4th sack for the San Diego Chargers, totaling 42 yards. Everything the Colts are trying is backfiring. 3rd and a bundle, and Jones got to go for it all. To Dickey, and it is almost picked off by Willie Buchanan. Another punting situation for Baltimore, and San Diego will again have great field position.
Burt Jones pass intended for Dickey.
As you look at Burt Jones, a very disconsolate Mr. Jones. Last time he faced the San Diego Chargers back in 1976, he beat them in San Diego, 37-21. This is the first time the Chargers have played here at Memorial Stadium since 1972. Mike Garrett, 5 punts today. James Brooks, the deep man for San Diego. End-over-end kick. Brooks will have a return. And he just goes down rather than get leveled there. So San Diego, as I mentioned, great field position at their own 43, and we'll be back in just a moment. We're back with you as you take a look at the timepiece. 9 minutes, 10 seconds to play in this ball game. It has been all San Diego, 36-14 over the Baltimore Colts. As you take a look at Dan Fouts. Chargers with the football at their own 43-yard line. San Diego trying to go to 5-2 on the year. Pitch right side, Brooks. Flag goes down. And Ozdowski brings Mr. Brooks down. You take a look at the standings around the AFC West. If San Diego wins today, they will be 5-2. Denver is losing to Kansas City. If the Broncos would lose and Kansas City would hold on and win, we would have a 3-way horse race for the lead in the AFC West. Oakland is winning. They would go to 3-4. San Diego plays at Chicago next Sunday. Now that should be a good one. Let's take a listen.
Offense lined up in the neutral zone. First down.
All right, back up the Chargers. Another 5. It'll be 1st and 15. The ball now at the 38-yard line as the yard lines are now totally obliterated there in the dirt around second base here at Memorial Stadium. Eric Seaver, the tight end, in motion. Flags fly. James Brooks, swing pass. And he picks up about 5 yards on the play. We were talking in the first half, Gene, about this dirt infield, and we were told at halftime that they will sod it tomorrow. Offside again against the Chargers, and now Fouts trots over to find out what's going on here. Who's doing what?
Well, evidently there was total agreement because there must have been 3 or 4 flags all thrown at the same time. What may have happened is that one of the men in motion may have turned up before the ball was actually snapped.
Let's take a listen here.
Encroachment, number 18, offense, lined up into the neutral zone.
Now Charlie Joyner is the guilty party. So now it is 1st and 20. Joyner goes wide to the right. The top of your screen, it is Wes Chandler wide left. The running backs for San Diego, Brooks and Capoletti. And Fouts will put it in the air. Got a man. It is Joyner, and he overthrows him. Charlie had everybody beat back there, and he simply overthrew him.
Well, Fouts had plenty of time to throw the football. As we take a look at Joyner, we have him isolated. The Colts go into a zone defense. They roll the corner up to take the short area away. Joyner just comes into the middle. Now, the linebacker's supposed to be there, but the Colts don't have anyone there. And had Fouts thrown that ball maybe a half yard, a little shorter, it would have been a completion.
Fouts 26 of 43 now for 291 yards. Coming into today's game, Fouts had thrown 22 300-yard games. He's 3rd on the all-time list. 2nd and 20. Draw play. Brooks. Running room right side. And Brooks takes on Nesby Glasgow head on, knocks him down, and runs for another 5.
What an excellent call and an excellent run on the part of number 21, James Brooks. You can see he bounces to the outside. He gets a good block from number 85, Eric Severs. And as you mentioned before, he takes on Glasgow, and he gets the best of that deal. He is strong. A lot of strength for a guy who's only 5'9".
Now James Brooks has done it all year long for the San Diego Chargers. 5'9", 180 pounds. Averages 4.5 yards every time he carries the ball. 3rd and 4, San Diego. Kellen Winslow in motion. Here's Mr. Brooks again. This time he will get nowhere. Reggie Pinckney shooting the gap perfectly, and San Diego will have to punt the football.
Reggie Pinckney, the 5th back in that nickel situation. He shoots the gap, comes up and makes the stop.
The clock continues to run. 8 minutes, 23, 22, 21 as George Roberts comes on to boot it away for the Chargers. Back deep to receive for the Colts, Dave Shula, the son of Miami Dolphins head coach Don Shula. He'll be snapping the ball off that dirt. It was a good snap. Almost punt, almost blocked. A good kick, and Shula's going to let it roll into the end zone, and it does so. And we've got a flag down as Bauer is going at it with somebody out there about the 42-yard line. It is Randy Van Diver. Flag is down. We'll see what the call is out here at the 42. A 54-yard kick by Roberts. And we'll see what the call is going to be. It is going to be against
number
Baltimore.
79, blue, blocking below the waist, post-possession foul.
Now there you see Mr. Van Diver. So they'll mark it off from the 20-yard line. Baltimore pinned deep in their own territory.
Blocking below the waist, 79 receiving team. On the touchback, the ball is returned to the 10-yard line. First down.
A 10-yard penalty. They would have had the ball at the 20. They will now have it from the 10. 7 minutes, 48 seconds to play in this one. San Diego leads it 36. Take a look. Listen to this. case you can't tell what they were spelling out, the fans here in Baltimore are spelling Orioles. I suppose it's safe to say, Gene, that the folks here have perhaps seen enough of the Colts.
Well, they still love football, and many of them are still here. They haven't gone home yet.
No, they have not. 1st and 10, Baltimore. Pattern near side. It is intended for Reese McCall, and I think he got it. Yes, he did. A pickup of almost 10 yards. It'll be second and about a half a yard. Ray Preston on the stop.
Preston is trying to convince the officials that he didn't have it. He caught the football, and he actually dropped it, but he held on to it with both of his knees, so the ball never hit the ground.
I love that quote by Kenny King of the Oakland Raiders earlier this year. He asked Kenny King if they thought banning Stickum was going to hurt pro football. He says, well, you'll still see outstanding catches, but the receivers won't be making them with their elbows anymore. 2nd and 6 inches. Burt Jones steps up into the pocket, fumbles the football. And Wyatt Henderson is recovered for the Chargers. Now that's one of those breaks, Gene, you can't help.
When it rains, it pours. When things are going wrong, it seems like everything goes wrong.
The Chargers from the 30 to give to James Brooks. Left side, running room. He was trying to get by Wes Chandler, and he could not get by him. Bruce Laird combines with Larry Brazil to bring him down. Pickup of about 11 yards. And a first down for San Diego as the clock continues to run. 6:34 to play.
Well, I would imagine that San Diego is going to keep the ball on the ground, try to let that clock run down. And you have to ask yourself in this situation, why wouldn't they bring in their other quarterback? They have a resounding lead.
Yeah, that's a good question. James Brooks across the right side. And he picks up another 3 yards. Now, the encore yell is not used, Ed Luther, a great deal here in 1981, choosing to go with Dan Fouts. And you have to wonder, Gene, why that is. When you've got a commanding lead, why risk perhaps somebody coming in and punching Dan's lights out?
Well, it's usually in this situation there probably would have been a substitution, but I'm sure that Don Coryell has a good reason. You certainly can't fault him. He has a record to back up anything he does.
Brooks on 2nd and 8 bangs into the right side and goes close to the first down. Ed Smith is there to bring him down. It is still raining in Montreal, where the Expos are trying to get underway against the Los Angeles Dodgers in Game 5 of the National League Playoff Series. The game has been delayed. It has not even begun. So you folks on the West Coast are missing absolutely nothing.
Bill, let's give some more credit to this offensive line of the Chargers. Billy Shields, number 66, Doug Wilkerson, Ed White, Russ Washington, and Mesa at center. They have just done an outstanding job all day long. They deserve a lot of credit.
Oh, they certainly do. 3rd and 3. Brooks cuts it back up the middle, inside the 5. First and goal, San Diego. It is Nesby Glasgow. The last man in line who could have stopped them did so.
Well, the Colts, as you can see on this replay, basically the Colts are just going through the motions. But number 21, James Brooks, he wants a touchdown. He's not going through the motions. He's trying to get into that end zone.
Well, there was talk earlier this week about Mike McCormick being on very, very shaky grounds. As you look at Mike McCormick there, and you've got to wonder what this loss, a big lopsided loss to the Chargers, will do to his job stability. That is Hank Bauer in motion. James Brooks will try the right side, and he will be tackled for a loss. It is Bruce Laird coming up from his strong safety spot. And I got to wonder if having Bauer in there, he hardly ever plays, and then putting him in motion just doesn't telegraph where you're going with that kind of a play.
Well, you want to have him out front on the blocking situation, and I guess you might as well let the other people know, because it's not going to make much difference if he does his job. But in that situation, Bruce Laird, and we've talked about Bruce often today, number 40, the strong safety for the Colts, he's a guy that's not going through the motions. He's a veteran ball player, and he's been in a winning situation, and he came up really playing tough today and made the stop.
2nd and goal. The ball now at the 7. Fouts will put it in the air. Clarence Williams.
Well, they make it look easy, don't they? Clarence Williams celebrates in the end zone. He got a great block from number 25, John Capoletti.
That is CW, and let's look at it again. He was wide open on the little swing, Gene.
Well, Dan gets the ball out to the right side, and I don't know if we can see it on our screen, but he gets a great block. There it is. John Capoletti comes back and blindsides the man down low. Doesn't see him at all. Williams goes in, standing up, untouched.
Now Rolf Benerschke will try and make it 43-14, and he's perfect. So the blowout continues here in Baltimore with 3:20. Notify stations along our network that the Montreal-Los Angeles Dodger game is being held up. You will go to local programming and monitor NBC for word on what is transpiring in Montreal. So stations along the line, local programming, please, until you hear further word from NBC. But right now, we still have 3 minutes and 23 seconds of football remaining here in Baltimore as Rolf Benerschke is set to kick it away. It is Kim Anderson. And he's out across the 30-yard line before he is wrestled out of bounds there. Oh, Baltimore will have the football at about the 31-yard line. I want to emphasize what we just said a moment ago, notifying stations along the line that we would like you to go to local programming because the Montreal-Los Angeles Dodger game has not started yet. Rain delay in Montreal. And please monitor the NBC television network, and we will keep you advised as to what is happening in Montreal. First and 10, Baltimore. Burt Jones. Got a man. It is Randy McMillan, the rookie out of Pittsburgh. And he's out across the 35-yard line. Ray Preston and Jim Laslovic bring him down. We're inside the 3-minute mark.
Well, the Chargers made some changes today in their defense. As we mentioned before, Willie Buchanan goes from the corner spot into strong safety, and it seems to have been effective. What they're going to do from now on, though, Phil, is they're going to drop back, and they're going to try to make everything happen underneath. They'll allow the receiver to catch the ball if he's underneath, then they're going to come up to make the sure tackle and make sure that if Baltimore does score, they're going to have to eat up some time on that clock to do it.
2nd and 4. Got a man, the tight end, Reese McCall, and he's brought down by Ray Preston. But the Colts are into San Diego territory. Jim Laslovic also there, and there you look at Mike McCormick. He wants his ball club to get on the scoreboard. You take a look at Reese McCall, number 86, fourth-year man out of Auburn. Had a 65-yard touchdown catch last week against Cincinnati. Jones. McMillan again out of the backfield, and he's inside the 30-yard line of San Diego. Ray Preston is there again. There have been some amazing last-minute finishes in the history of pro football. Now we're going to show you one of those fantastic finishes because we are at the 2-minute mark here in Baltimore.
Alcoa presents Fantastic Finish.
Phil, as we take a look at the total offense, the statistics certainly bear out what's happening on the score. The Chargers 466 total yards. What an afternoon they have had through the air, particularly. Dan Fouts hadn't reached 300 yards yet, but he's been right on the money with those passes.
2nd and 2. Burt Jones has got a man. Again, it is Randy McMillan. They've run that pass 3 times, and he's got room. A first down at the Charger 20-yard line. Pete Shaw and Alan Ellis combine on the stop. 1:38 to play. The clock is running here in Baltimore.
As we take a look at this replay, the ball gets to Randy McMillan. What the Colts are doing right now is they're playing strictly for their pride. There's no way they're going to win this football game. But the fans, the press, everybody's been on them, and they're playing for pride right now. And this guy has as much pride and ability as anyone, number 7, Burt Jones. And you have to feel sorry for him a little bit to continue to have the abuse that he takes here in Baltimore.
Now, there was a lot lot of pushing and shoving in the Charger defensive secondary. Curtis Dickey and Ray Preston were really going at it as the ball passed right over Dickey's helmet, and Burt Jones is going to have none of it.
Well, obviously there's tremendous frustration on the part of the entire Colt organization. As we take a look at this replay, Burt Jones throws the ball down there, and you can see that Dickey is being pushed. Ray Preston is all over him before the ball gets there, and that should be a penalty.
I think you're right. Minute 15 to play. The clock is stopped. Roger Carr wide left, Ray Butler to the bottom of your screen. On 2nd and 10. Jones steps up. He's got Reese McCall, and he cannot hold on. McCall is hammered by Allen Ellis right at the 2-yard line. The ball was thrown a little bit high.
Reese McCall made a good effort to get open. Burt Jones takes off. Then he sees that Reese has made a move to get open. He throws the ball a little high. McCall goes up and he gets his hands on it. And I think he should have come down with it.
Well,
he had to jump a little bit, but he had both hands on that
He
ball.
should have caught it. It is now 3rd and 10, and you just can't say enough about this San Diego Charger defensive secondary today. A secondary that has been giving up on the average 306 yards a game, dead last in the NFL. They have played exceedingly well today. Burt Jones gonna get hammered. Again, the 6'5" rookie out of Ohio State, Keith Ferguson, is there to bring him down. For San Diego, that's the 5th time they have brought Burt Jones down.
Well, anytime that you get a sack, when the defensive group gets a sack, that's because those defensive backs have the guys covered. So the defensive line should give credit to San Diego's defensive backs for covering the guys, which allows them time to get in there and get the sack.
54 seconds to play. Again, we want to remind our local stations along the line. It is raining in Montreal. Please provide local programming and monitor the NBC television network for further updates. 40 seconds, 39 seconds. 4th down and 8. Jones will go down. And you can just see the frustration on the faces of the offensive linemen for the Baltimore Colts. Leroy Jones is the man this time, and Burt Jones comes off the football field, and I'll tell you something. These Colts are a disappointed group of young men. 34 seconds to play. The Chargers have the ball, and William Ed Luther has come on. Dan leaving with 298 yards passing, just 2 yards shy of what would have been his 23rd 300-yard game. He's 3rd on the all-time list, behind a fellow that people here in Baltimore know a lot about, a guy by the name of John Unitas. He had 26 300-yard games. Sonny Jurgensen had 25 in his career. As you look on at number 14, 26 of 43, 298, and 3 touchdowns. Not bad for an afternoon, Dan. There's Mr. Luther, the second-year man out of San Jose State, and can he rifle the football? Hank Bauer across the left side. Pickup of about 3. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
KCST-TV, San Diego.
And I believe that's going to be the last play of this ball game. And it is, as you take a look at the wide shot here at Memorial Stadium, and virtually nobody has left. Mike McCormick saying hello to Billy Brooks. And the Bluebirds continue to express their feelings about the caliber of football they have seen here this afternoon. So, the San Diego Chargers totally dominate the Baltimore Colts to the tune of 43-14. We'll be back.